What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the Porsche Pack 2. This is the second Porsche Pack, the 9 new cars added to the game. Let's get straight into it with the Porsche 718 Boxster S. This is a pretty standard Porsche, not the most interesting thing in the world. It's alright. It's actually probably one of the worst cars in my opinion in the pack. It just doesn't really, when I was driving it seemed to be a little bit twitchy and didn't have the greatest brakes, and it's one of the slower cars in the pack as well. However, it's alright. There's also the Porsche 718 Boxster S PDK, which looks like the exact same car to me, slightly different rims, basically looks like the same car, so I don't know, it has the same specs and everything. So yeah, this car is alright and the other one is pretty much just the same. Up next we have the Porsche 718 RS 60 Spyder. This is a classic race car. I presume it's a race car. It looks like a race car with the number on the side and everything, and it's an alright car. I'm not the biggest fan of kind of vintage classic racing cars. I said this in the Red Pack video when I went over that and had a look at the old Maserati, I think it was. Not my favourite things in the world. This car's alright though, it handles okay. It can get a little bit scary under braking sometimes, as can classic cars like this. However, it's not too bad, it's fairly quick for its time, and yeah, it's a pretty cool car and not a bad one to drive. Up next is the Porsche 911 GT1 98. This is another race car, but a little bit of a newer one, I presume from 1998. I'm just guessing that, with it being called the GT1 98. It's a pretty nice car actually. It drives fairly well. I believe this is the car that I had a little bit of an issue with at one point, where I spun it around and crashed into a wall. But yeah, it's not too bad of a car. It looks pretty cool. It sounds good, and yeah, it's a fairly nice car to drive. You do have to be a little bit careful putting down the power out of corners though, because it will spin out and crash into a wall like I did. The next up is the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. This is by far my favourite Porsche of all time. I absolutely love the 911 GT3 RS. I'm not a big fan of Porsches in general. I find them a bit boring. They're not really that interesting. I can't talk. Like a lot of people, you know, it's just Porsches aren't the most interesting things. However, the GT3 RS is an amazing car. I love the look of it. It sounds great in Assetto Corsa as well. It can be orange. Its kind of standard color is orange, which is always a plus for me. And yeah, the GT3 RS, I would love to own a car like this. If I was to own a Porsche, it would definitely be a GT3 RS. Up next is the Porsche 919 Hybrid 2015. Another race car. This is more of a kind of LMP car, LMP1, maybe LMP2. I'm not sure how it works. Probably LMP1 actually. This thing's pretty bloody quick. And it's a nice car to drive. It's grippy, of course. It's out of race cars, these are the sort of race cars that I like. I'm not a big fan of kind of Formula 1. I prefer LMP cars. I'm not a big race car fan in general, really. I prefer, you know, kind of more stock cars, like, you know, like GT3 cars, cars that are actual cars, but they've made them into race cars. However, LMP cars are pretty cool, and this one is also very, very good. Up next is the Porsche 962C Short Tail. Now there's two versions of this car, the short tail and the long tail. Both of them, once again, same specs. I think one of them slightly heavier. I think it's the other one, the long tail, is heavier. Apart from that though, the only other difference is that this one has, as you can see, the wing, the spoiler on the back is kind of up and tall. The other one is kind of long and flat. So that's really the only difference. I haven't driven the other one, I've only driven this one. I chose this one just because it has a bigger wing in my, you know, a nicer wing. It's a pretty nice car, you know, another race car, fairly old one, pretty cool car, nice to drive. And finally, we have the Porsche Cayman GT4, probably my second favourite Porsche behind the GT3 RS. The Cayman GT4 is a very nice car. It drives well, it looks good, bit of a slightly different looking Porsche from the back, I think, compared to some other Porsches. Probably one of the reasons why I like it. It's a little bit, it feels a little bit longer than you know, most of the Porsches that have kind of a more rounded sort of look to them. Yeah, I really do like the Cayman GT4. It looks awesome in this blue, a really, really nice blue, and yeah, it just drives really nicely. I think always the kind of stock cars, the road cars, are my favourites in these packs. Anyway, that is it for the Porsche Pack 2. My favourite cars in the pack, GT3 RS and the Cayman GT4. However, most of the cars in this pack are pretty cool. The 718's a bit, 718 Boxster isn't the most interesting thing, that's the only thing, it's just not very interesting. However, it's not a bad car, and the race cars are also very good, a lot of fun to mess around with. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy it, please go ahead, like and subscribe. Comment what other videos you'd like to see on Assetto Corsa PS4, and I will see you guys in the next video.